Wide receiver Mike Evans heads to San Francisco for his second team ever, and C-Dub hates Michael Pittman. Let's get into it. Welcome, everybody, to Top Dog coverage. Today is a wild day. Tampering period is here. If you do not know by now, it is one of the many days that we look forward to. I've got probably over 120 text messages from C-Dub over here. C-Dub, today is a wild day, is it not?
Today's the day I have to keep the phone on the charger.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way the thing's living through.
No.
It's a freaking war out there.
No. And beforehand, we were looking for a hook. I figured I'd put Michael Pittman here on the thumbnail. C-Dub does not think that Michael Pittman is worthy of a thumbnail. I thought it was a big thing as he has gotten traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now them having DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman, I think that's a solid one too. Your thoughts, C-Dub? What are your thoughts on this Michael Pittman trade?
I think he's a solid receiver. I mean, we'll get into it on the details and whatnot. I think he's a solid receiver. When you open the floodgates of free agency for this tampering period, he's not the first person that you think of. You know, I think there's a lot bigger names. We have a player that switched from the Saints to the Jets. That would have been great because it would hit both of our teams. It wasn't worthy enough.
You know what? He is worthy, but I figure we give the fans what they want before we are greedily, putting ourselves first. Does that make sense?
I'd be very, very questioned to know if the fans actually truly love Michael Pittman, if that's who they would want on their thumbnail.
Okay, that's
I don't think people love Pittman like you think for some reason that they do.
Would you think they would want Demario Davis or Michael Pittman?
One of the top linebackers in the NFL for what, 10 years now?
Maybe we should put it up on YouTube. Name? Maybe we should put a post up.
Sure. What do you want the post to say? We'll put it
up. Who would you rather have as a thumbnail? Michael Pittman or Demario Davis? Right. I think people would lean offense. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Offense scores points, but defense, of course, we know wins championships.
That's what they say.
That's what you are checked out of this conversation. C-Dub is checked out. He's like, you know what?
I'm going to put the poll up. I'm going to put the poll up. I don't
Everybody go vote now. He's putting the poll up now for YouTube. You are a man of action. That's what I like about having a teammate like you, my friend. All right. But yes, in case anybody's wondering, I am a Jets fan. He is a Saints fan. So Demario Davis did make his way back to the Jets as he was on the Jets. He was on the Browns. He's on the Saints. And now he's going back. But we're going to get into all of that. Like right now, we're going to go through everything. And I mean, it has been a busy, busy, busy day. We've had trades. We've had signings. We've had, outrageous amount of signings. And there was one thing too that I wanted to say is that the Packers center, I believe, is now he's going to go test the market now too, since Linderbaum, and we'll get into the Linderbaum as well. But I think that's
Elton Jenkins.
Yeah, you know what? And I think that's the best thing for him because there's not many centers out there and people need them. So it's like he's going to get a bank here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where he lands, but I mean, the former Mississippi State product has played on every single position on offensive line. He's played guard, tackle, center. I mean, he's really a do-it-all guy.
He is. You let me know when you're ready, sir. I know you're doing a lot over there.
You go and start us off with the AFC East.
Okay.
Should be done here shortly.
All right, sounds good. All right, so basically, we all know that everything has been coming to fruition today. Everybody's been waiting for this day. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start with the AFC East. We're going to start with the Bills here. C-Dub, I'll know when you're rocking and rolling and ready to go. You chime in whenever.
I'll give you 2 thumbs up. How about that?
Sure. I might be reading on the other chart over here, but you know what? This is what's great about having C-Dub as a partner, as a team member. Like, my man is just putting stuff up on YouTube right now. Like, this is a no nonsense business, so he's rocking and rolling. Go subscribe, by the way, to the channel. So follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Swipe up, hit Spotify. Make sure that you guys also hit iTunes, hit the 5 stars, leave a comment for us. But right now, the free agency is brought to you by north-hall.com. If you guys have not yet, go to north-hall.com and go buy some hot sauce and some mead based out of West Virginia, where they burn couches before the games. Let's get into it right now. All right. So AFC East, let's go over to Buffalo, where the Buffalo Bills actually signed quarterback Shane. I can never say his name, dude.
Buechel.
I always say Shell. But Buechel signed for a 1-year contract. And obviously, we know about DJ Moore being acquired in a trade to Chicago's Bears, along with the 2026 5th-round pick in exchange for the 2026 2nd-round selection. So Connor McGovern re-signed a 4-year, $52 million. That includes $32 million guaranteed. And they re-signed safety Sam Franklin on a 3-year deal. Let's move over quickly, because we have a lot to take care of, to the Miami Dolphins, where the Miami Dolphins signed quarterback Malik Willis, signing a 3-year, $67.5 million deal with $45 million fully guaranteed. Willis deals includes a $22.5 million signing bonus, a $2 million March 2028 roster bonus, and a $20.5 million 2028 salary. I think it's safe to say he's the starter over there.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to have to battle it out with Quinn Ewers, the 2nd-year Texas legend. I think it's a pretty good competition. I'd willing to be part of.
You know what? And not for nothing, I believe, with our boy Nick Stanley. He's going to battle it out with our boy Nick Stanley over there in Miami. And
And I do have a Dolphins fan that I was in communication with earlier today who was extremely excited about the Malik Willis signing. And also, he said, if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, you take a quarterback in the 2027 class, which is supposed to have an abundance of quarterback talent. So,
true story. All right. True story. So there you go. Let's head right over to New England Patriots, where Reggie Gilliam signing a 3-year deal worth up to $12 million, with the $6 million fully guaranteed. Gilliam will earn $4.4 million in year 1, and defensive lineman Draymond Jones signed a 3-year, $39.5 million deal that will pay him $14.5 million in year 1 as well. My New York Jets. We all know that Breece Hall received the franchise tag and will play $14.293 million for 2026. The two sides continue to work on a long-term contract. And Jelani Woods, the tight end, re-signed on a free agent deal. So they also signed edge Kingsley Enagbar, signing a 1-year, $10 million contract, and edge Joseph Osaya signed a 3-year, $36 million contract. Another defensive line, David Onyemata, signing a 1-year, $10.5 million deal that includes $9.65 million guaranteed. And the Devontae Sweat and JJ being acquired in a trade from the Tennessee Titans, and we heard about that one. And then Demario Davis is signing a 2-year, $22 million deal that includes $15 million guaranteed. And today, the Jets also acquired Minka Fitzpatrick through a trade with the Miami Dolphins in exchange for a 2026 7th-round pick. Fitzpatrick will sign a 3-year, $40 million extension with the Jets, which I am excited about that. It looks like we focused everything on defense. We had one of the worst defenses, so I am extremely happy about most of those signings. I can't really tell you how much I like the guys that they signed. Some of it looks like short term, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, who needs to score points if you can just stop them from scoring points, right?
There you go. We don't need to score point. Not in this league, right?
Yeah, exactly. I guess I'll go to the AFC North if that's cool.
Yeah, everything's up on YouTube.
It's up.
All
Go
right,
vote
so
now.
anybody wants, go vote on YouTube. As me and C-Dub like to have these little quarrels live on air. So if you go on
A
YouTube and go
debate,
vote
if
on the
you will.
post, debate, if you will. Yes, sir. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead, buddy.
So let's get started with the Nick Stanley Baltimore Ravens. So Tyler Huntley re-signed on a 2-year, $11 million contract, according to Ian Rappaport. The old lineman, I believe guard John Simpson, former Jet, signed a 3-year, $30 million deal, according to Ian Rappaport. And then this big piece of news broke right after we got off the pod last week.
That's right.
But defensive end edge rusher Max Crosby was acquired in a trade with the Las Vegas Raiders in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and a first-round pick in 2027. So bit of Ravens history there as well. As the first time that they have traded their first-round pick for a player.
Nice.
So Crosby is one heck of a player to do that for. So we wish him success in Baltimore. Then we'll go to Cincinnati. So offensive guard Dalton Risner re-signed on a 1-year deal according to the team. Edge Boye Mafe signed a 3-year, $60 million deal according to Ian Rappaport and his agent. Cornerback Jalen Davis re-signed a 1-year deal according to the team. And safety Brian Cook is expected to sign a 3-year, $40.25 million deal, which will pay $18 million in year one, according to Ian Rappaport, the former Super Bowl winning safety of the Chiefs.
Indeed.
Then let's go to Cleveland, where offensive tackle Titus Howard was acquired in a trade with the Houston Texans in exchange for a 2026 fifth-round pick. He also is signing a new 3-year, $63 million extension with the Browns, according to Ian Rappaport. And they also signed offensive guard Zion Johnson to a 3-year, $49.5 million deal, according to Ian Rappaport. So the former Charger lands in Cleveland. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers, they acquired receiver Michael Pittman with a trade with the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for a late-round pick swap. Pittman is also signing a new 3-year, $59 million deal with Pittsburgh. This is according to Tom Pelissero. The Steelers are also re-signing linebacker Cole Holcomb on a 2-year, $5 million deal, according to Tom Pelissero. Cornerback Jamel Dean is signing a 3-year, $36.75 million deal, according to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. And cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. is re-signing a 1-year, $4 million deal, according to Ian Rappaport. So that is your AFC North.
No, all right. Not too shabby. Let's head over to the AFC South. We're going to start off with the Houston Texans, where shout out to Luis. Talked to him just last week. Got back from the combine. And that is our main man right there. Houston Texans legend, we will call him, maybe.
Houston legend.
Yeah. So Houston Texans started off with David Montgomery being acquired in a trade with the Detroit Lions as per a week or two ago. Detroit in exchange for offensive lineman Juice Scruggs, a 2026 4th-round draft pick, and a 2027 7th-round selection. Also, Dalton Schultz, the tight end, signing a 1-year extension worth $12.6 million. And offensive tackle Trent Brown re-signing a 1-year deal up to $7 million, and offensive guard Ed Ingram re-signing a 3-year, $37.5 million deal with $23.5 million in guarantees. They were also able to get 2 defensive linemen, Naquan Jones, and re-signing a 1-year deal to $2 million, and Sheldon Rankins re-signing a 2-year contract that includes $12 million guaranteed. They're getting edge Daniel Hunter, signing a 1-year, $40.1 million extension that includes a $30.7 million signing bonus. That ties Hunter to Houston through 2027, according to Ian Rappaport. And I'm going to stop right there. That is a huge payday right there for a 1 year. Like you know what I mean? This dude was getting a bag on this, So Daniel Hunter, shout outs to him. Moving right along, EJ Speed, the linebacker, re-signing on a 2-year deal, $10 million with a maximum value of $13 million. And then safety Reed Blankenship signing on a 3-year deal, moving his way over there, $24.75 million deal with $16.5 million guaranteed. So they really focused most of their stuff in the trenches there, a little bit on linebacker and safety, but re-signing offensive line, defensive line, some edge, safety, and linebacker. So they're looking pretty good. Indianapolis Colts. Quarterback Daniel Jones received the transition tag, 1 year, $37.8 million, which gives the Colts the right to match any offer sheet submitted by another team. Both sides will continue to negotiate on a multi-year contract. So wide receiver Alec Pierce re-signing on a 4-year, $114 million contract. The max value is $116 million. This includes $84 million in guarantees with $60 million guaranteed at signing. I thought that was a big payday for Alec Pierce. Well deserved. He was just making plays here and there, and everywhere he could. Like, you never knew when he was going to get the ball, but when he got it thrown, it was always spectacular to watch. So
he's a good playmaker, and now he steps into that number 2 role. So
yep. So edge Arden Key signing a 2-year deal worth up to $20 million with $11 million guaranteed, and defensive tackle Colby Wooden being acquired in a trade from Green Bay in exchange for linebacker Zaire Franklin. And also Blake Groupie, the kicker, is re-signed on a 1-year deal worth up to $1.4 million. And we'll head over to the last 2 teams over here with Jacksonville Jaguars signing DJ Dallas, re-signed on a free agent deal. Tight end Quentin Morris re-signed on a free agent deal. Edge Dennis Gardeck re-signed on the same, and Matt Dickerson re-signed on the same as well. But cornerback Monteric Brown re-signed on a 3-year deal, $33 million. And it doesn't really say what's guaranteed, but $33 million contract for 3 years. And the Tennessee Titans, they're trying to make a splash here. And they most of them, they split it up half and half here, but most of them, these are big deals. They want to move in right now, and you could tell. So QB Mitchell Trubisky signing a 2-year deal. Wan'Dale Robinson signing a 4-year deal, $78 million. That includes $38 million, and he's back with this old head coach, actually. Now his offensive coordinator. Offensive guard Cordell Volson signing a 1-year, $2.5 million deal that has a max value of $4.215 million. Center Austin Schlottman signing a 2-year deal worth up to $9 million with $3.5 million guaranteed. Edge Jermaine Johnson, he was acquired by trade with the New York Jets, exchange for Devondre Sweat. We talked about that. John Franklin Myers, defensive lineman, signing a 3-year deal, $63 million with $42 million guaranteed. He is now back with Robert Saleh. He has been in this defense before. Cordell Flott signing a 3-year deal, $45 million with $32 million fully guaranteed. And another corner, Alante Taylor, signing a 3-year deal worth $60 million with $42 million guaranteed. And an additional corner, Joshua Williams, signing a 2-year deal. And long snapper, shout out to long snappers. We have lots of love for them on this show. Morgan Cox re-signing a 1-year deal. So Tennessee was very, very busy today.
All right. Let's go to another very busy division. We'll go to the AFC West. So the Denver Broncos quarterback Sam Ehlinger is re-signing on a 1-year, $2 million contract, according to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. Running back J.K. Dobbins is also re-signing on a 2-year deal, according to Mike Garafolo. Tight end Adam Troutman re-signed on a 3-year contract, according to the team. Linebacker Alex Singleton re-signed on a 2-year deal worth up to $15.5 million with $11 million guaranteed, according to Ian Rappaport. And linebacker Justin Chernod re-signed on a 3-year deal that is worth a max of $19.5 million and includes $10 million fully guaranteed, according to Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo. Heading over to the Kansas City Chiefs. Got a big fish. Running back Kenneth Walker III signed a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million with $28.7 million guaranteed. This is according to Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo. Tight end Travis Kelce is coming back, and he re-signed on a 1-year, $12 million deal that has a max value of $15 million, according to Ian Rappaport. Defense lineman Kyrus Tonga signed a 3-year, $21 million deal that includes $14 million guaranteed, according to Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo. And long snapper James Winchester re-signed on a 1-year, $1.75 million deal, according to Ian Rappaport. So the Las Vegas Raiders were fairly busy today. They signed receiver Jalen Naylor to a free agent deal, according to Tom Pelissero. Center Tyler Linderbaum signed a 3-year, $81 million deal, according to Ian Rappaport. So the best center that was out there. Edge rusher Kwity Paye signed a deal worth $16 million per year, according to Ian Rappaport. Linebacker Nakobe Dean, the former Eagles, signed a 3-year, $36 million deal with $20 million guaranteed, according to Mike Garafolo. Linebacker Quay Walker, the former Packer and teammate of Nakobe Dean, signed a 3-year, $40.5 million deal with $28 million guaranteed, according to Tom Pelissero. They played together at Georgia, too, for the record. Cornerback Taron Johnson was acquired in a trade with the Buffalo Bills, along with 2026 7th-round pick in exchange for a 2026 6th-round pick, according to Ian Rappaport. And cornerback Eric Stokes re-signed on a 3-year, $30 million deal that includes $20 million guaranteed, according to Ian Rappaport. And Los Angeles Chargers, before I get into what they did today, we have some news that they did just a few minutes ago.
Breaking.
So the Chargers have signed former Dolphins offensive guard Cole Strange on a 2-year, $13 million deal, and he will now be reunited with his former head coach, Mike McDaniel, in Los Angeles.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Right? Not too bad.
Go. So in other news with the Chargers, they signed fullback Alec Ingold, another former Dolphin, to a 2-year, $7.5 million deal, according to Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo. Tight end Charlie Colder, formerly of the Ravens, signed a 3-year, $24.3 million contract, including $17 million guaranteed, according to Tom Pelissero. Offensive tackle Trevor Penning re-signed on a 1-year, $3.5 million deal with a max value of $4.5 million, according to Tom Pelissero. Center Tyler Biadasz signed a 3-year, $30 million deal, according to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero and Mike Garafolo. Defensive tackle Tier Tart signed a 3-year extension worth up to $37.5 million, according to Ian Rappaport. And edge rusher Khalil Mack re-signed on a 1-year, $18 million contract, according to Ian Rappaport.
That is something, my friend. Let me tell you, they're
busy day in the West.
It is. It certainly is. Right. I'm going to take you over to. That was big, though. I will say this: the Kansas City Chiefs needed a running game going on over there. It just seemed like it kind of fell off last year. I know they had some problems with their offensive line, but kind of seeing the power that Kenneth Walker and I've said this to you a bunch of times. You've loved Kenneth Walker since the beginning, so since he came into the league. So I think they needed that one solid A guy that's going to get the rock every time you run the ball. That's what I think they needed.
He's explosive, man. He's explosive. Like he's going to add another element to that Chiefs team and maybe take a little bit of pressure off Mahomes.
I mean, they gave him the ball, 27, 29 times in a Super Bowl? That's it.
Yeah.
When you can do that, that's great, to have that kind of guy.
He just has to stay healthy because he wasn't necessarily pictured great health during his time in Seattle. So,
yeah. Shall we go to the NFC East? So, the Cowboys re-signed Javonte Williams, as we discussed earlier in a couple shows. 3-year, $24 million deal that includes $16 million guaranteed. Wide receiver George Pickens received the franchise tag, which will pay him $27.298 million for the 2026 season. And then edge rusher Rashawn Gary being acquired in a trade with the Green Bay Packers in exchange for a 2027 4th-round pick, according to Ian Rappaport. And safety Jalen Thompson signing a 3-year deal worth a maximum of $36 million. Okay. Brandon Aubrey received a 2nd-round, $5.76 million restricted free agent tender, meaning other teams can sign him to an offer sheet, but Dallas will have the right to match it. So I thought, not for nothing, I thought that was a little peculiar, knowing that Aubrey is one of the best kickers in the league.
Would you be willing to give up a 2nd-round pick for him?
I think somebody who's desperate enough that lost by only a couple points or what have you last year if they have a good team? I think they would. I mean, if that's
If
going
you
to
were the
get
Jets, would you do it?
we don't have a quarterback, probably not.
All right. I mean, that's why. I mean, not a lot of teams are going to part ways with a second round pick,
Yeah.
and then because you have to trade that pick, right? And then you also have to turn around and pay him the highest salary and guarantees of any kicker ever. Like, I don't know. I don't know if teams feel that support. I mean, I think he'd be great in Green Bay. I mean, they're always having kicking issues.
I always say there's always that one out of 32 teams. There's always that one team willing to do something weird, you know.
It's the
But
Cowboys.
it's the Cowboys, and that's the thing.
and
Wouldn't you just rather
tag
lock
'em.
them down?
You would
What?
think, but they gotta get some clicks and likes, and they gotta get the media talking about them. They did this with Dak. They did this with CD. They're doing it with George Pickens.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh man,
it's the tale as old as time, man. I mean, every offseason we're talking about a Cowboys contract extension. And last year it was Parsons and
yeah,
that
that
whole
was the
mess.
big thing. Seems like that was just yesterday. No,
No, it was not. It's got a whole season.
Thanks. All right, let's go over to New York, where wide receiver Gunnar how do you say this? Olszewski? I can never say it. Yeah,
I don't know.
I can never say it. No, I don't think it's pronounced that way. I don't, but it's okay.
It's Gunnar. Gunnar resigned with the team.
Gunnar resigned with the Giants. A big signing here though is tight end Isaiah Likely. He signed a 3-year, $40 million deal that can be worth up to $47.5 million with incentives, according to Ian Rappaport. That's big. I think that's a big signing. Jermaine Alumunor re-signing with the Jets offensive line, and then the linebacker Tremaine Edmonds signing a 3-year deal coming from Chicago, $36 million deal with $23.7 million fully guaranteed. The Philadelphia Eagles, moving on. The defensive tackle Jordan Davis signed a 3-year, $78 million contract extension that includes $65 million guaranteed. Davis has been set to play the 2026 season on the 5th-year option of his rookie contract. And we're going to head right over. That was the only one that they signed today, as far as I know. A lot of people left the Eagles and got a payday, or a couple people, I should say. But Washington re-signed Marcus Mariota to a 1-year, $7 million deal, up to $11 million with incentives. Treylon Burks, the wide receiver, re-signing a 1-year deal worth up to $4 million. Offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil signed a 2-year, $60.2 million extension, including $52.65 million fully guaranteed. Offensive lineman Nick Allegretti signed a new 2-year deal. Allegretti had previously been under a contract through 2026. Andrew Wiley, offensive lineman, re-signed a free agent contract, and Edge Adafe Awe signing a 4-year, $100 million deal with $68 million guaranteed. Edge Dietrich Wise re-signed on a free agent deal, and defensive tackle Tim Settle signed a 3-year, $24 million deal worth up to $25.5 million. Cornerback Amick Robertson signed a 2-year, $16 million with a $9.3 million guaranteed, and punter Tressway re-signed on a 1-year contract. I think they're getting some better guys up front in that defense over there in Washington. I think that's what they're looking to do. They didn't really have that much of a great defense either, so I think now they're trying to make sure that they fill the trenches and do what they can, protect Jaden Daniels at the same time as well. Make sure that offensive line is there. Still got time to go. This is just day one, but I'll tell you what, man. I'm liking this Isaiah Likely over in the Giants. I want to see what he can do with the Prince of Darkness over there. I think
it'll likely be good.
All right.
But the thing that I posed earlier to a colleague I was talking about is, Dart and Theo Johnson had this really great connection. So how quickly can Dart get that with Isaiah Likely?
I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah. And in due time. I'm gonna kind of screw you up a little bit. I'm gonna skip the north and go to the south.
I had something planned for it. You're good.
All right, cool.
Just in case.
And before I get into that, I'm gonna go back to the AFC South. We have some Titans news. So the Titans are signing former Chiefs cornerback Josh Williams to a 2-year deal, according to Tom Pelissero. So Titans aren't done. They're still doing stuff. All right. Now to the NFC South. Let's start with the Falcons. Atlanta Falcons. They signed a brand new quarterback. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa signed a 1-year deal worth the veterans minimum. The deal cannot become official until the Dolphins release him on March 11th. This is according to Ian Rapport and Tom Pelissero and Mike Garafolo. So the Falcons have 2 injury-prone lefty quarterbacks. So shouts out to them. They also signed receiver Jahan Dotson to a free agent deal, according to Tom Pelissero. They also signed receiver Olamide Zaccheaus coming back to the Falcons. He signed a free agent deal, according to Tom Pelissero. Austin Hooper also coming back, signed a 1-year, $3.25 million deal, according to Ian Rapport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo. Tight end Kyle Pitts received the franchise tag, which we discussed earlier on an earlier show. They also signed linebacker Christian Harris, according to Cam Wolf. And they signed kicker Nick Folk to a 2-year contract extension, according to Tom Pelissero. So shore up that kicking game a little bit. Then we're going to go to the Carolina Panthers, where they signed quarterback Kenny Pickett to a 1-year, $4 million deal with a max value of $7.5 million, according to Tom Pelissero. They signed edge rusher Jalen Phillips to a 4-year, $120 million deal, according to Ian Rapport. They signed cornerback Caleb Evans to a 1-year deal, according to Mike Garafolo. And they re-signed long snapper J.J. Jansen to a 1-year contract, according to the team. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they signed running back Kenneth Gainwell to a 2-year, $14 million contract, according to Ian Rapport. They re-signed tight end Cade Otton to a 3-year, $30 million contract with $20 million fully guaranteed, according to Ian Rapport and Tom Pelissero. And they signed linebacker Alex Anzalone to a 2-year, $17 million deal, according to Ian Rapport and Mike Garafolo. And then the New Orleans Saints, they signed running back Travis Etienne to a 4-year, $52 million deal, according to Ian Rapport, which officially puts the team on Alvin Kamara watch. Will he stay? Will he retire? Will he potentially get traded? A lot of options are on the table, so his future is unknown at this time. They signed tight end Noah Fant to a 2-year deal, according to Ian Rapport and Tom Pelissero. They also signed arguably one of the best guards in free agency in guard David Edwards. It was a deal. It's going to pay him upwards of $15 million per season, according to Ian Rapport. I believe it's a 4-year deal as well. And they re-signed defensive lineman John Ridgway to a 2-year, $6.2 million contract, according to Ian Rapport and Tom Pelissero and Mike Garafolo. Julian Blackman re-signed to the team on a 1-year contract. And then punter Ryan Wright, the Tulane alum, signed a 4-year, $14 million deal that includes $2.5 million signing bonus, according to Tom Pelissero.
T-Dub, what do you think about ATN going to your Saints?
I think it's a great move. I mean, he's had, I believe, 12 30-plus yards runs in his career. The Saints have had one in the last, I think, 4 or 5 seasons. So I think he adds a lot of juice to that backfield. He's at his best when he's running inside zone, which is what Kellen Moore wants to run in his offense, with a lot of read option with Shuck at the helm. And, we just haven't had that kind of element at running back. Kamara's game has never been predicated on speed. It's always been his contact balance, his yards after contact, catching the ball. And he's always made it look so effortless with his agility and, being able to find the hole. But he also hasn't been able to stay healthy. ETN's coming off of nearly a 1,400-yard season, combined rushing and receiving, 13 touchdowns. So he's had 1,000 rush yards in 3 of his first 4 seasons. So I think it's a great move. I think it really gives them a new element at running back and can help take some pressure off Shuck.
With that, how do you think that changes the outcome of possibly you guys sitting at 8 in the draft?
I don't think it's going to change the outcome. I still think we're going to be sitting at 8.
Well played.
If you're referring to referring to Jordan Love,
Yeah.
not Jordan Love.
Not Jordan Love, Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love. Yeah, I was like, wait a second. Not
Yo,
computing. That doesn't sound right.
Cam Ward, baby. Cam Ward and
Yeah.
Cam Akers.
Hey,
I get
it's
it.
been a long day. It's been a
I
long
know
day.
it. I know it.
It's been a long day. But yeah, Jeremiah Love. I don't think he'll make it that far.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go within obviously the first 7 picks, but I think the 3 realistic landing spots is you have Tennessee, New York, and then the Commanders.
Yeah.
I think those are the 3 true like love watch, so to speak. I think that's where he lands. I don't think he was ever really the guy at 8 for the Saints.
Where are the Commanders at?
7.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I mean, they only have Krosky, Merritt. They only have Bill on their, on their squad as a contract.
And Bill's up and down. He was
Yeah.
up and down this past year. So
Yeah,
I think that would be a really fun offense. You put Love and Daniels together. That's what a backfield, right?
that could change the dynamic if they can get their defense together. That can change the dynamic of that entire division.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, everybody's a competitor, right?
Yeah. Well, to be determined on the Giants. I think Harbaugh gives them a better leader in that spot, right? We'll see what they do in terms of the talent that he's acquired, but
yeah.
I this does not change my stance. I've still been a Caleb Downs guy. That's who I've wanted from the very beginning. Will he make it to pick 8? I'm not sure, but I think he would play great in that star role in Brandon Staley's defense. Alontae Taylor has played that role this past season. He's now in Tennessee, so I would give anything to get Caleb Downs on my team.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I'm going to head to another team with Caleb. All right. I'm going to go to the NFC North. We're going to go over to where Caleb Williams has a re-signing of his backup QB. So Case Keenum is re-signing on a 2-year deal, $4.4 million deal with a max value of $8 million. Offensive tackle Braxton Jones re-signing on a 1-year contract. Center Garrett Bradbury being acquired in a trade with New England Patriots in exchange for a 2027 5th-round pick. Defensive lineman Neville Gallimore signing a 2-year, $12 million contract, according to Ian Rappaport, Pelissero, and Garofalo. Linebackers Devin Bush signing a 3-year, $30 million, and DeMarco Jackson re-signing on a 2-year, $7.5 million that has max value of $10.5 million, according to Ian Rappaport. Safety Kobe Bryant signing a 3-year, $40 million deal that includes $25.75 million guaranteed. So they're making some moves on both ends here. They're solidifying some really good defensive spots there too. Detroit Lions, Cade Mays, the center, signing a free agent deal with Detroit. Offensive tackle Larry Borum signing a deal with the team. And Juice Scruggs, we talked about being acquired from the Houston Texans, along with 2026 4th-round draft pick and a 2027 7th-round selection in exchange for David Montgomery. Let's over to Green Bay, where offensive lineman Sean Ryan re-signing a 3-year, $33 million contract with a max value of $39 million, and linebacker Zaire Franklin, as we discussed before, being acquired in a trade with the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for defensive tackle Colby Wooden. So they're kind of quiet on day one so far, but it's still tampering, if anything, really. But
slight tampering.
Yeah. Minnesota Vikings linebacker Eric Wilson re-signing on a 3-year, $22.5 million deal that includes $12.5 million fully guaranteed, and cornerback James Pierce is signing a 2-year, $8.5 million deal that includes a $3.7 million guaranteed and a $2.5 million signing bonus. So that is what the NFC North is looking at right now. Kind of quiet from the Packers and the Vikings. But I would say that Detroit is really focusing in on the offensive line, and the Bears are doing what they have to do on that defense and the offensive line. So
Yeah, and I think the key to Detroit, right, is can we protect Goff and can we open up lanes for Jameer Gibbs?
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be the Gibbs show going forward. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
have all the backfield touches, so we have to open up the lanes and be able to have a functional offense to do that, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
do that through the trenches. Goff under pressure, awful. So we got to keep that guy upright.
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes from golf to goofball if we don't keep him upright. So
Goff to goof.
and with the Chicago, I mean, you had your center retire, and you got some moving parts on the offensive line, right? So we got to be able to reinvest in that. We saw what Caleb Williams and the offense can be next year.
Mm-hmm.
So let's continue to build around him and build around that Ben Johnson scheme. Like it's, I don't know, we got to build to the trenches there too. So
Yeah.
all right, we have one division left.
Yes,
That's
sir,
it.
we do.
I think there's a Super Bowl winner in there somewhere.
There is.
NFC West. So we'll start with the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
So quarterback Gardner Minshew signed a 1-year, $5.75 million deal that has a max value of $8 million, according to Tom Pelissero. Running back Tyler Algier signed with the team to a 2-year, $12.25 million deal, according to Mike Garafolo. Receiver Kendrick Bourne signed a 2-year, $10 million deal with a max value of $12 million, according to Cam Wolf. Offensive guard Isaac Siomalo signed a 3-year, $31.5 million contract, according to Ian Rapport, Mike Garafolo. Defensive lineman LJ Collier re-signed on a 1-year deal, according to the team. Defensive lineman Roy Lopez signed a 2-year, $11.5 million deal with $7 million guaranteed, according to Ian Rapport and Tom Pelissero. Punter Blake Gillikin, former Saint, re-signed a 1-year deal worth up to $2.65 million deal, according to Ian Rapport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo. And kicker Chad Ryland re-signed on a 1-year deal, according to Mike Garafolo, so keeping that special teams group intact. Now, the Los Angeles Rams re-signed tight end Tyler Higbee on a 2-year deal worth up to $8 million, according to Tom Pelissero. Offensive tackle David Quessenberry re-signed a 1-year contract, according to the team. Cornerback Trent McDuffie was acquired in a trade with the Kansas City Chiefs for the 2026 first-round pick, 5th-round pick, and 6th-round pick, as well as the 2027 third-rounder. And then he agreed to a 4-year, $124 million contract extension that we covered before. Cornerback Jalen Watson, another former Chief, signed a 3-year, $51 million deal with $34 million guaranteed, according to Ian Rapport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo. And then safety Cameron Curl re-signed on a 3-year, $36 million contract that we covered in the last show.
We did.
And then the Niners had some pretty big moves. Not a ton of moves, but at least one big one. Receiver Mike Evans, the Tampa Bay legend, signed a 3-year deal, according to Ian Rapport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo. Offensive tackle Vidarian Lowe signed a 2-year deal worth up to $12 million with $5.75 million guaranteed, according to Ian Rapport. Long snapper John Weeks re-signed a 1-year contract, according to the team. And then kicker Eddie Pinerio re-signed a 4-year, $17 million contract that includes $10 million guaranteed, according to Ian Rapport. And to finish with the Super Bowl reigning champion Seattle Seahawks, re-signed the former Saint legend receiver Rashid Shaheed to a 3-year, $51 million contract, according to Ian Rapport and Tom Pelissero. And they also re-signed cornerback Joshua Jobe, according to Tom Pelissero. And that's it.
Yeah.
Kept their in-house free agent that they deemed, because basically, if we look at it,
yeah,
from what outside looking in, when I'm looking at the Seahawks, they chose Shaheed over Kenneth Walker III because they had very similar contracts.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easier. I think it's easier to get a running back. I'm not saying it's easier to get a running back like Kenneth Walker. Obviously, he's very talented, but it's harder to get a wide receiver with those kind of attributes that Shaheed has. You know, it's like he's. I don't even
Great
want to say
returner, speed, good
Yeah.
hands. I mean, he's a complete receiver, and he's just growing and getting better with his route tree. Like,
I would say lightning in a bottle, but it's just lightning.
yep,
There's no bottle. You know,
no baba.
no baba, no, not at all. But I think we did that pretty well within the time frame here. I mean,
Not too shabby, right? I
not too
think
shabby.
before we move on,
Yeah.
The one name that I want to kind of float out there for the Seahawks
Mhm.
for the draft, I could see them taking the second round in the second round, or one of the early round picks is the running back from Arkansas that we watched run that blazing 40.
Yeah. Mike
Washington
Washington
Jr.
Jr. Yeah.
So I think he could pair
I mean,
well.
6'2", 228. That's a big boy.
Yeah,
That's
4.3
a big
speed.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could add that element that they're going to be missing with Kenneth Walker. So that's just an early name that I'd float out there because I think he'd do well in it. I don't know what type of scheme they're going to be running with the tight end. San Francisco 49ers tight end, former tight end coach is their
Yeah.
OC now. So, but just a name to watch.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. Mike Washington Jr. I mean, there's a huge fall off this year. Kind of like between what Jeremiah Love brings to the table. I mean, obviously he's just elite. I think there's more wide receiver depth in this draft than there is really anything else. After Mendoza, there's I don't want to say that Ty can't play, but at the same point, there's just a gap. That's all. You know what I mean? And I think
It's a
the
very
same
top
thing.
heavy draft.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's where next year comes in. It's a little bit different. But
But
very,
the thing with this draft class is there's a lot of speed at every position.
yeah, yes.
I mean, we saw those guys just, light the track on fire in Indianapolis. I mean, it was pretty incredible how overall fast this class was.
Yeah.
And it was from defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties, corners, running backs. I mean, receivers. It was all around across the board.
And I'll say I'm big. I think I told you this a couple of times. I'm big on the defensive tackles coming in this year. We, defensive tackles look like they're coming kind of back in a little bit, and some hefty looking guys. So and look, these kids are just getting faster, even with the weight. You know what I mean? Even with everything. So it's a new day and age in football, but this is the reason why we stay up with it, because we love it. We love the change of it. We love everything about it. So
Constantly changing. And the tight end classes, I think it's really underrated. I think there's a lot of great tight ends that you can get middle rounds in this class. So
yeah, you've been talking about a couple of them too. Like it's who's the one that you've been raving about? Is it Hurst? No, not Hurst.
if you didn't ask me, I'd probably tell you. Let me. I'll pull it up.
He's probably
I can
from
see him clear as
SMU.
day. I can see him clear as day. He's 88. Yeah.
That's usually how it happens,
Yeah, I mean, I've watched him all year.
You know what? I probably put too much pressure on you to say the name. But it's not RJ Maryland, right?
RJ Maryland's he's the son of a former Cowboy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be he's dealt with a lot of injuries last couple of years, but he's really fast. He will be a good tight end. It's the other guy.
It's the other gentleman. But no, I'll be honest, there's always these guys that some people just, look, Musgrave was drafted over Kraft, right? And when nobody like Musgrave got the starting job, but he couldn't stay healthy. He always got injured. And when Kraft came up, he just took that job. His fluidity, everything about him playing the game looks so much better than Musgrave too.
Matthew Hibner, sorry.
Hibner. Yes.
That's it.
Sorry. I knew it was like a shorter name.
Yeah.
Had an I in there.
Yeah. Had an M.
Yeah. Had one of the 26 letters combined to make something.
All right. So, before we move on, get out of here, do whatever. Who do you feel kind of won day one of the tampering? Who do you think tampered the best?
I'll be honest with you. I think the Titans actually did a number today. I really do. I think the Titans came in. They had their eyes set on people that they really needed. They really wanted for that defensive system. They got their offensive weapon with Wan'Dale Robinson, who's had over 100 receptions the past 2 years in a row. So that adds a weapon to their, to their offense. You have a decent backup with Mitchell Trubisky. You signed, Volson, Schlottman. So you're kind of solidifying that offensive line as well. Not more of a depth thing there, but he made a trade for Jermaine Johnson. That's something else. But he got people that already know the defense coming in too, so they know what to expect. So it kind of pushes everything a little bit forward. But I thought they did a pretty good job of getting the guys that they wanted, and that's just day one. So I'll give it to the Tennessee Titans. I thought that they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I would also argue I think both of our teams did very well, but I'm not going to go the bias route with our squads.
I got you.
I really like what Vegas has done so far.
Yeah.
With the infrastructure they're going to be putting around a potential number one pick at quarterback in Mendoza. I mean, you get a veteran center. That's one of the best in the league. You get a stud receiver. Got a lot of speed. He's had some really big games in Minnesota. 2 former Georgia linebackers to shore up your defense. And you re-sign your corner and you trade for Taron Johnson, who's a really good nickel who's played well in Buffalo.
He is.
Throughout his career there. So, and you lose Max Crosby, right? But you gain a first round pick with a lot of talented, like we talked about. It's a top heavy draft, so you have pick 1 and 14. But you sign Kwity Paye, who's a pretty good edge rusher coming out, and he just never lived up to his potential in Indianapolis. But you take a flyer on him, and I just think they've done a really good job of laying the infrastructure down for potential quarterback.
And I think we discussed this too, like sometimes just a change of scenery, right? Maybe that can revamp some things. Maybe that can, just get a bunch of things rocking and rolling and get somebody playing better. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's a good take. I think the Raiders had a really good day today. They definitely did their thing, adding offensive weapons. We kind of all know what that number 1 pick is going to be, but on the same end, the trenches, that's what they're focusing on. Anybody, I'm pretty sure Linderbaum was not, he got a bunch of offers, but that's where he went. He went over there, and that's really hard to go to a place where that it is a rebuild. So shout outs to him for going over there, knowing that they're taking a quarterback here, and that's a hard take.
He's making $27 million a year, and the second highest paid center is making 18. So I think that had a lot to do with it as well.
Probably, most likely. Hopefully, he doesn't gamble all that away.
You never know.
Never know. You never know, sir. But that's what it does for us today. If you guys have not yet, follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay connected with us. Make sure you swipe up on Apple, Spotify, hit the 5 stars, leave the comment, go to topdogcoverage.com, and vote for your favorite team. Let us know who you guys think the top 5 teams are at the moment, okay? And we'll get all that data, and we get to see exactly who likes who. So topdogcoverage@gmail.com. You guys can email us for some different takes if you guys would like. But it is your boy Dirty and your boy C-Dub. We will be back with more exciting breaking news whenever that comes through. And we are always on your side for some more takes and some more NFL talk. But until then, it's your boy Dirty. It's your boy C-Dub. We're out. Peace.